Welcome, welcome, welcome to this Holy Week practice, specifically focusing on Good Friday. My name is Marinake Olarinashomo. I am a licensed professional counselor, a somatic experiencing practitioner, as well as a registered yoga teacher. And I will be guiding you through this brief but hopefully powerful practice. And at this point, we're just gonna settle in. And so as we're arriving in our space, I just invite you to check in with yourself and see if there's anything you need right now that could help you feel maybe 1% more comfortable. There's an invitation to take a moment. So oftentimes we are ripping and running from the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. So I just invite you to take a moment to notice. So I just want to go over a few things before we get started. Just a reminder that this is a very gentle practice of somatic movement, and there are things that I might offer that might be activating, might be triggering, whether it be in the movement, whether it be in some of the words that I say or I'm using. And I just invite you to get your needs met. So that might mean taking a break, might mean stepping away, but honoring what you're needing is absolutely part of the practice. So I was so excited when I got this invitation to be a part of this Holy Week offering, and especially when I learned I would be doing Good Friday, because Good Friday is my favorite day of Holy Week. And on Good Friday, we witness Jesus not fleeing, not dissociating, not collapsing, even in the face of betrayal, violence, and death. So in John 18, when asked, "Who is he?" Jesus responds simply, "I am he." There's no explanation, there's no defense, there's no scrambling, just presence, identity, and embodied knowing. And when I was reading over the verses that cover Good Friday, there's so much that happens on that day, right? There's so much that happens on that day, but I kept coming back to, I am he, I am he. And it was so powerful what he said that the people around him, the soldiers, were struck down, right? They were knocked over by the Spirit. And so I just want to invite you to set an intention for yourself with our practice today. What does it feel like in my body to be anchored in who I am? Where am I being invited to stay present, even when it's hard? Just sit with those questions for a moment. Not answering them from your mind, but from your body, from your heart. And I offer you a few mantras. Take what you like, leave what you don't. I am here. I am anchored. I am who I am called to be. I remain. Again, take a breath. Let your body receive those words. I'm going to read an intention statement for our practice. And again, I just invite you to notice your body. Notice emotions, sensations, images, thoughts as I'm reading our intention statement for this practice, and see how these words land for you. Today, we enter this practice in the shadow and sacredness of Good Friday, remembering Christ, who did not turn away, but stood fully present and said, I am He. We come with our bodies, our breath, and our honest hearts, trusting that God meets us here, not asking us to strive, explain, or perform. This is an invitation to remain with Jesus in the steadiness of His love, to notice what it feels like to be anchored in Christ and in the call God has placed within us. As we move and rest, may we embody strength without force, surrender without collapse, and a quiet faith that stays. Nothing is required of you in this space, only to be present, held, and known. Once again, we'll pause and we'll notice. Because even though this is a brief practice, we can take all the time we need. So check in with yourself and see if you'd like to start our movement portion standing or seated. I think I'm going to stay seated. I'm here sitting on a bolster, but you might be seated on a pillow or a folded blanket, whatever feels supportive for you. And we're just going to start with some slow head turns, left and right. And just see how far your neck wants to go, how far your head wants to go into the turns. And the eyelids can be lowered or the eyes can be closed, or you can also involve your eyes in the movement. Like as you turn your head, maybe your eyes roam around the space that you're in. Remembering to breathe. And maybe there's some weight shifting back and forth. So if you're standing, maybe you're gently shifting your weight from one foot to the other. And if you're seated, you can shift your weight within your sits bone. So one side and then the other side, just very gently. Could be while you're still doing those head turns. Maybe they've turned into neck rolls. Just see what your body is asking for right at this moment. Notice what it feels like to take in where you are without urgency. And we'll do some gentle cat-cows here. And so if you're standing, I invite you to come back to seated, or you can go into full-on tabletop. But you can also stay here and be seated. If you go into tabletop, you'd be on your hands and knees. And on an inhale, we'll bring the chest forward as if we're trying to touch the opposite wall. Maybe the head shifts back. And on an exhale, we'll round the neck and spine, tuck the chin. The shoulders might come up to the ears. Inhaling, bringing the chest forward, gaze up. Exhaling, rounding the spine, tucking the chin. Do this a few times at your own pace, your own breath. Let your breath move your body rather than forcing movement. And the mantra I offer as you exhale, I am here. And when you're ready to find stillness again, I invite you to do so. And we'll do a few shoulder rolls. So first we'll go up, back, and down. Do this up, back, and down a few times. And then we'll go in the other direction. So back, up, and forward shoulder rolls. Do this a few times. And we're going to add our arms in. So we'll bring the arms parallel to the ground. And we'll roll the shoulders forward a few times. Back a few times. And then we're going to come into a self-hug. So right hand comes to left shoulder. Left hand tucks under right armpit. And we'll take a few breaths here. Notice what you're noticing. On an inhale, arms come back out parallel and we'll switch. So left hand comes to right shoulder. Right hand tucks under left armpit. And again, a few breaths here. We might even take a few moments to have some breath to movement. So inhaling, arms out wide. Exhaling, self-hug, and switch the arms again. And do this a few times at your own pace, your own breath. Notice the difference between opening and bracing. Notice what it feels like to return to center. And when you're ready to find stillness again, I invite you to do so. Maybe one hand comes to heart, one hand comes to belly. Is there any movement that your body's asking for? Maybe it's swaying, rocking, or maybe just stillness. Even in motion, there can be a felt sense of steadiness. Thank your body for this practice. And we'll end with a short guided meditation. And so you can be seated, you can be reclined, whatever feels right for you. Eyes can be closed or soft gaze. Natural breath, body supported. Bring to mind the moment in the garden when Jesus says, I am He. Notice not the words, but the posture, the breath, the steadiness. Where do you feel grounded in your body right now? Where do you feel strength without tension? Where do you feel surrender without collapse? There may be sensations, images, thoughts, maybe nothing at all. Whatever is present is enough. I am here. This is now. As we honor Good Friday, we remember that presence itself can be an act of faith. Before there is resurrection, there is staying, there is remaining. And when you're ready, gently return, bringing this anchoring with you. We'll do one final gesture together. Hands come out and up to touch overhead, slowly lowering down to your heart center, gathering all that you've done in this short practice. May the benefits of this practice stay with you and extend beyond you. With gratitude from my heart to yours. Peace. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful, settled, grounded, anchored Good Friday. Have a good day, y'all.